It's been another great year of hiking. Let's take a look at my favorite gear from 2024. I've tested out a bunch of new gear, and among that are the big three. So first off, sleeping bag. We've got the Sea to Summit Flame 3. This is a female bag. It's got bigger hip area, which is better for side sleepers. They don't sell this anymore. They just discontinue this, but you can buy basically the same bag, but it's just called the Sea to Summit Spark female version in long. If you get the long version, you end up with more hip length, the same shoulder length, and a longer bag. A lot better for side sleepers like myself. This bag won't have the same temperature ratings as the Spark, so you'll have to look at the different Spark numbers, but for the Flame 3 female, this is a -4 degrees Celsius bag or 25 degree Fahrenheit bag. 850 fill power down. This is super comfortable, super warm, and super light at only about 1.68 pounds, something like that. The other big three, we've got tent. The Z-Pax Plexolo Light is the world's lightest tent. That's not a tarp. I don't sleep with tarps. This tent is really easy to set up once you get the hang of it. I used it all year. This is basically the main tent I use for most of the year because it is just so light. It's so light that I don't even leave it at camp if I go off to do a day hike on the second day of a backpacking trip. I just always bring it with me because, well, it's expensive. I don't want someone to steal it, but it's also so light that I don't even notice I'm carrying it. And to round off the big three for this year, this is my favorite backpack. This thing is amazing. This is the Six Moon Designs Minimalist V2. This is a great bag. Like, they don't make bags better than this. And I also have, if you look back here, I have the Six Moon Designs Swift X bag as well. This is also a great bag, but I do like the Minimalist V a little bit better. And the reason for that, you see how the top system here works? This is a roll top. This rolls down, but then there's this flap that actually goes over. So it's like a mini brain that connects into and kind of cinches over top of this bungee pouch. So this bungee pouch is really sturdy too. It's perfect size for my drone. And the brain here, I just find it so much easier to backpack with a brain. You always have just the essentials up there, flashlight, whatever, snacks, just anything you really need is right there. You're not always digging around your bag. The organization on this bag's great. The side cinches here, you can actually cinch the side pockets, which is just so useful, which it has on both sides here. And if you get it with the flight harness, it's just the best ever. You got all this extra storage up front, and you can carry extra weight on your shoulders, which then pulls the bag forward, so you're not having it pull you back. Properly centers the center of gravity on your body and not on your back pulling you this way. Now, for trekking poles, I did get a new one this year, but I haven't used it that much. And that says Aogioni fixed length trekking poles. You can't extend it, which makes it basically unusable for backpacking. This is just a day hiking trekking pole. So I haven't thoroughly tested this enough, but this is a carbon fiber one. It's lighter than this one, which is the lightest aluminum one. I've mentioned this on the channel multiple times. This is the Fizzin trekking pole. So I've been using this. As you can see, it's absolutely battered and beaten. So this is still my go-to trekking pole. As for pillows, so I've tested a ton of pillows. I haven't done a pillow video yet, but I've got a whole bunch here. I've got the Nemo Philo, I've got all the Trekology and Nature and Hike, and this one here, it just takes the cake. And I actually tested out all these, and I'll do a full video on this, but I had someone else test all the pillows too. The Nemo Philo is the most comfortable, but it is a lot heavier. This one is a close second, and it's a lot lighter. So this is the Trekology, I don't know what this is called, Pro or something. It's basically like this normal Trekology one, but it's got this soft cover on it, and it's got a pouch. And you can stick your jacket, your extra clothes in there, and it just makes a nice pillow. And then what you do is deflate the actual airbag in here by half, and you got yourself a great backpacking pillow. At least this is the best solution I have so far. I'm still working on, maybe there's another way to make a backpacking pillow or have some other solution which is even more comfortable, but for right now, this is the best solution I've got. As for headlamps and flashlights, I'm rocking this thing. I've had this on the channel multiple times. It's just a tiny little flashlight. It's like the Rovivon or whatever. This is a Rovivon knockoff. This thing is light, it's bright, it gets it done. I don't hike at night. This thing weighs almost nothing. I keep it in my vest harness on my backpack here, just in one of these pockets. So I've always got it. I'm not guessing where it is. I'm not digging in my backpack. And if I'm not gonna need it or whatever, I can put it in the brain so it's easy to get. I'm loving this. I have two of these things just in case I can't find one of them. It's so useful and so light. As for day bags, these Aogioni 25 liter, and I have the 35 liter. These are my go-to day hiking bags. So anything less than, I basically want less than 40 liters. Even 30 liters is kind of a bit much. So this one, 25, is perfect for day hiking. I quite like this one. It's got the main pouch here, but also has a bungee one on the outside. It's got a compartment for water if you're one of those kind of people, but it's got the harness on the front. It's just a great bag. If we talk clothes, my favorite puff is the one I'm wearing here. This is the Black Diamond Down Deploy hoodie. This thing's very expensive. It is incredibly light, like 130, 140 grams, something like that, almost nothing. It is not waterproof at all. Now, if I want something that repels water a little bit well, but keeps me warm, then I go for this one here, this Cortazoo jacket, repels water for about an hour. and it's really warm, really comfortable. I'll do a review on this one here pretty soon. Quite like this jacket. It's like a winter jacket that you would layer underneath your rain shell when going out into the snowy, icy kind of conditions. And if it is raining, I am now going with this, a 3F UL poncho. I quite like ponchos. They breathe a lot better, just more airflow. They do have a downside, and that's against one thing I do all the time, which is bushwhacking. Bushwhacking, you don't want things catching on you. So it's a hard thing, because if you get a fancy Arc'teryx jacket and then you go bushwhacking and get it shredded up, it doesn't feel very good either. So I'm kind of weighing out the pros and cons, because this thing only costs like 50 or 60 bucks. A good rain jacket is more sleek, but you can't breathe as much in it. Get one with pit zips. So I'm still kind of balancing the pros and cons, but right now I am a poncho user. I quite like this on hikes where I'm not crashing through the bush. Now for sleeping pads, if it's cold, I would go with the Nemo Tensor Extreme here. This is a great pad. It's a little bit heavier, 1.65 pounds. Something like that. But if it's cold outside, highest R rating, it's great. Now for summer hiking, this is overkill, and I had to use this in the summertime because I did buy a new one, an ultralight sleeping pad that burst on the first use, and I'm still dealing with the company, and they will not refund it. And they told me to just patch it. So I'll talk about that company and that pad. It's not from Nemo, it's from another company that is yanking me around right now on a future video. My favorite hiking shorts by far are these. I know some people won't like this, but they're Nike, just because Nike has their stuff produced offshores. Who knows the quality, conditions, all that stuff that goes into this, but when it comes down to it, these are the best hiking shorts I've ever used. They're so good that I bought 3 pairs of them, so I wouldn't be upset in a year or so when I burn these things out and I patch them myself. And the reason for that is they have zipper pockets, you can see, on both sides. So there's one zipper pocket, and this side, one zipper pocket. But they've also got a zipper pocket on the butt here at the top. So these are great for gels or whatever. But they've also got these big floppy open pockets with a bungee on it. So you can actually stick a flask in there. You can stick your gloves or whatever else in there. The only thing that would make it better is if it had a hoop. So I might actually sew a little hoop in there, connect gloves or snap gloves onto, like a little button. For water flasks, they don't come out of this thing. I've tried it. What I more use this for is putting snacks in there. If it's bigger snacks that fit right in there and fill up the space, then they don't come out. But either way, I don't use those that much. It's more of the zipper pockets. Also, there's little pockets on the front here, which you can see. And this is meant for, I think, gels and electrolytes and that kind of thing. There's one on each side as well. And there's also a drawstring. This does come with a lining on the inside here, which is a little weird. I'm currently still testing these out, one with the lining inside and one where I cut the lining out, because I have 3 pairs. Either way, these are my favorite shorts. These are the Nike Trail, I believe, running shorts. And they also have a Nike Trail hiking one, which comes with a carabiner hoop. But I don't like those ones because branches can get stuck in there. They're not great shorts for doing off-route stuff. These running ones don't have those. Now, as for pants, these are my favorite pants right now. These are the Fjallraven Keb, I believe they're called. The main selling point of these is this zipper here, which allows your leg to breathe while you're hiking. Because pants like this will get hot, especially in the summertime. If you're having to bushwhack and you want protection, but you can't breathe, these zippers are a lifesaver. These have a whole bunch of other features of them, clamping down over your boots here, all these extra pockets and stuff. I'll do a full review of these pants, but these are great pants. These are really durable pants and really comfortable. Now, to round off this video, I'm going to talk about my hiking shoes or boots. I don't really use boots except in wintertime, and I've been using the same boots for the last few years. But for shoes, I've tested a whole bunch this year, and these are by far the best. These are the Topo Athletic Mountain Racer 3, I believe they're called. The reason for that is multiple things. First off, you can see they have really big lugs on them. The lug pattern is great. It catches on things. I don't slip. And even when I do start to slip, it actually catches itself. Usually I find if a shoe starts to slip on something, it will continue to go. You almost need this counter forcing lug to catch. I've seen actually some lugs on, I think, a recent Solomon shoe, a new one, where it had chevrons pointing both directions, so if you can't slide forward or back. But based on how this thing kind of angles and then the swooping ways that way, either way, I don't know how they test this, but these work really well. And if you can see here, they have that too. There's chevrons pointing one way and the other way. That prevents your foot sliding one way or the other. These shoes are just the perfect combination of having enough protection to land on rocks and not destroy your feet, but also enough cushion and kind of rock to them where it carries that kinetic energy and it just feels really comfortable. I also tested out a few other pairs of Topo shoes among some other brands, and the Venture 3 started to fall apart after 2 hikes, so I sent them back. I also got these ones, which are the MT4. These are great shoes, great lug pattern on these as well, but these are a much more flexible shoe. When you step on rocks, you really feel it on these. This shoe's perfect if it's not harsh scrambling like the Canadian Rockies, but more terrain around here. but you want real good feel of the rock, and you want to be able to roll your feet on the rocks, but you don't have the terrain that's really sharp and jaggedy. Around here, we've got a lot of mossy, wet, rolling rocks. So if there's hikes like that, I'll pick these shoes because it gives me better feel of the ground. But otherwise, I'm taking these shoes because they're a little bit stiffer, but I can still feel the ground pretty good on these ones. That does it for this video. I have a ton of other stuff around here that I'm still testing and have made videos about. So be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.